Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. We are here in Charland to do one of the easier dungeons, the Ooze Pits. Pirate charged with guarding our base and overseeing the siege weapons. The problem is we're extremely low on ammunition. I've been using gelatinous materials from the oozes inhabiting a nearby cave. Stuff is nasty, it sticks to everything and burns forever. I love to watch it burn. Anyway, it's nearly impossible to transport this gelatinous material of the average ooze without disaster. I lost a lot of troops trying, but we finally found one type of ooze that works fairly well. The prismatic form is stable enough to move most of the time. Bring me gelatinous material from the prismatic oozes, then I should be able to cause a ruckus. Time to get sticky. Alright. So let's get going. Let's bring this skill actually instead, I think. This is the Ooze Pits. This is one of the easier dungeons again. This is actually also a dwarven dungeon, so this is a dungeon I also have in the past ran for people for Chaos Gloves during double weeks. People would pay me to run it for them. So it's a dungeon I have some history with. It's a pretty fun dungeon. It's a nice short one-floor dungeon, so this shouldn't be too long. Pretty easy to do. The only main thing you need is you either need a stone or a way to kill a elementalist mini boss that does a lot of like AoE damage around himself. So you need to bring like Evas is an okay way to do it. It takes a while. Most people use stones to do it. Stones are probably the easiest way to do it. So Dream Riders being obviously the best, but Dream Riders being very expensive and not necessarily farmable for most people. You can just bring, whatever you think would be fine. Tengus and Canthan Guards are probably fine. Tips for doing this place with heroes. The only thing you need to be careful about is the last boss. There's 3 of them, actually, and you need to kill them at the exact same time, or they spawn a massive room of fuck-off enemies. So my recommendation would be to either purposely build all your heroes so they only have even damage skills, so skills that do damage the same amount of damage to every target, or disable those skills before you go into the final boss. That would be my personal recommendation. Or you could try to pull one at a time and kill all the things that pop out of it whenever you kill it. That's another option, but yeah, this is definitely one of the dungeons that's a lot harder to do with heroes than it is to just do it the running way. These oozes do have an ability that rips enchantments, so you do have to be careful when running by them. You want to be pretty fast. But outside of that, it's a pretty easy dungeon. You just got to go along the right pathway. There aren't a ton of mechanics to it. The oozes will split and do a whole bunch of damage whenever they split, so you need to be wary of that, but outside of that you should be alright. You do this on a Sin with minimal consumables, probably just like Cupcake and BU. And if you're going to run it with less consumables, I would probably recommend running Dark Escape over Dash for speed or for safety. But it's just a lot of running, much like most of the other dungeons. But even if you're fighting your way through, the main thing you just need to worry about is when these oozes split, they do a lot of damage. So I would probably run ahead of your heroes and like purposely try to eat most of the damage for your heroes. I always find it funny, I don't know why, that Dervish and Assassin both have 4 pips of energy regen, but Ranger only has 3. It seems like with all 3 of them being medium armor classes that they all probably should have had 3. One could say maybe that's what makes Ranger different, but it's a little bit weird that Dervish and Assassin have the same regen as casters for mana abilities. Maybe because the idea is you're going to be spamming abilities, but you're going to be spamming abilities on Ranger too. That's not necessarily like... Maybe it's because Ranger's base thing removes energy costs. That's probably why, honestly. It's because Ranger's base class mechanic reduces energy costs. So, I feel like they didn't need it. There's a couple of different paths you can take through the dungeon. This is just the path that most people take whenever they're soloing, so that's why I'm going the way I'm going. Be a boulder coming up here soon. Yep. There's going to be incubuses that spawn in this room, so you need to try to cover with as many enchantments as you can, so whenever you run past these incubuses, they don't eat you alive. As long as they don't get shadow form, you're really fine. So. Yep, perfect. Then you get shadow form. This is the boss, Gloop. Just kind of bow him back here. He might run back, but it's fine. Just, you know, chill until he comes back to you. There we go. Boss key acquired. And we're back to the other side. Again, we're going to be running by these incubuses again, so try to cover your important enchantments with everything you can. We got a pretty lucky spawn here. There's only 2 of them. Normally there's 3. But with only 2 of them, it's not too bad. And we're just looping back around to the boss chamber now. It's not too much farther. As you can see, this one is a lot like Ula's lab, and that it's very easy. And a wide variety of professions can do it if you want to solo it. You just need even damage for the final boss. So as long as you have like a radiation field, you're probably fine. But I would personally recommend a radiation field plus another skill. So like Grensora is good for Dervish. You can use / Mesmer skills for Degen, / what am I thinking of? Not Mesmer. Mesmer and Necro skills for Degen are both fine. Oh, a little tip as well, whenever you're killing these guys, is pull them somewhere away from the chest. That way, just in case you die, they don't prevent you from getting the chest, all the little gremlins they spawn. Because the gremlins will actually spawn on top of these guys, not on top of the chest, so. Gotta make sure I have Shroud up before. There we go. And bam. But yeah, as you can see, it spawns a whole bunch of little guys. Just a whole bunch of little guys. and you'll get an item you can turn in for a quest reward. Anything interesting on the shield? Not really. So let's go turn in this quest. Do. Talk to Seer again. Fierce Rain. Ah, just what I need. I'm an impressed human. You're not dead. Well done. In a race of mostly worthless creatures, I suppose there must be one or two exceptions. Here, I filled this barrel with some ooze, load the siege weapons, and hold on to your entrails. So interesting there, he says, like, he gives you, you know, he's talking about giving you something for the siege weapons and then letting you use it, but he doesn't actually give you anything. I wonder if maybe the original plan for this was to make this dungeon a pre-requirement before you do the attack on the stronghold, because obviously you bring siege devourers with you there. So I wonder if maybe that was one of the original intentions with that. But I don't know. But that's going to be all for today. I want to thank you for coming out. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.